welcome to the stream. My name is Lee. This morning, basically it's hellish enough to write a folk song about, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Hello everyone, I'm Lee, welcome to the stream, I just said that, and today is Greyhawk Day. Also, I'm eating on stream. I'm sorry if that bugs you, can't be helped, is what it is. Okay, so, for those of you who don't know, welcome on in. My stream, let's see, tends to be, on Wednesday, Greyhawk. Now, now, what about Greyhawk, you might say? Well, I'm editing the Greyhawk wiki. So, for those of you unfamiliar with Greyhawk, well, wiki, I will type in a link to the wiki. That is not normal. That is not a keyboard shortcuts always. I don't use them a lot, so there are certain ones that just kind of sneak up on me. Okay, we have to mute this time. And are frustrating when they do, but I'm sure they're very helpful. Yes, so Greyhawk every Wednesday. I tend to edit the Greyhawk wiki. Even Wednesdays that are the day after, the week after the con, where I'm still trying to get myself settled and everything unpacked. I still feel, like I have to do this. So, so let me go. One thing I have to do is, um, uh, okay. Alright, so, we are live. If anyone comes to the stream, they come to the stream. I appreciate that. Alright, it starts 2 minutes. Okay. So, that's not enough time. Okay. Do this. So, I might have to do one quick thing. But first we're going to get to the Greyhawk wiki. That's what we're going to do first. And the wiki. And then I'm going to check my notes on last time we did the wiki, which I conveniently keep on my Discord publicly so anyone can see, what we're up to. Roxas. Oh yes, Roxas. We were working on Roxas, and I didn't do one last, time either. Let me go with that then. Let's start with Roxas and see where we are, and I think we had, Roxas. Yes. Greyhawk, Roxas. That was the fall. We had a quote on that. Geography, then pop. We didn't do any, cityscape, religion. I think we did a really good job on that, actually. I think we moved past that by now. Alright. But you will be very, good to me and give me a moment. This, also, in case any of you are not there, take this. Let me do one thing. And Alright. By the time the ad break starts, I will be ends. I will be back. They're gonna start at the little. I'm just gonna step out a little early. Promise you. Um. Okay. Perfect timing. Hi. Welcome back, everyone. Um. That should have been our break. Appreciate you being patient with me. In 5 minutes, when I have to do the thing, but for now, welcome back. Might actually. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Meanwhile, welcome to the stream. Um, we had. I mean, go back. We'll go back to our source. Let me move this way. So, what we're doing with this was we were going to a specific. We're going through each section. Uh, Oxygen lands. Okay, let's go to 26 because we might actually. Anyway. Um. Interesting. Okay. These are. Oh, these might actually be Midnight Darkness. I know we did guilds. Okay. Royal Guild of Merchants of Erde. Royal House of Darman under its patron, Prince Zavaner. Oh, Overking. Okay. No, that's interesting. We might need to go there next. Alright, we're gonna put a pin in that. That's gonna be our next. Double checking that we have. Um. I think Midnight Darkness was one of the first ones we did. Okay, introduction. The Grand Gazetteer. Um. Okay. We're gonna go to this. I think. All right. Rocks and Land of the Overking. So we've gone through this Tower of the. Oh, right. We're going to go through. This is what we're gonna do. So look at all. See all these things. Temple of Zilchus, Tower of the Dead. We're gonna go. Okay. Temple of Zilchus and then I was gonna go and explain the temple. Yes, that's what we were gonna do. That's our next thing. Up that's after. So yes, this was our plan for next week. Okay. Firefox. Yes, this one. That's this one. Okay. Greyhawk Wars, post Greyhawk Wars. So we can either put that in Cityscape or in blah, blah, blah. Okay, so history. So we have Cityscape, Fall of Roxas. That's a little past when we are going geography. We might want to put some of that in there. Okay. So Temple of Ballsy, with plus also Tower of the Knights of Doom, which stood shoulder to shoulder with the Royal Crypts, Tower of the Dead. Large of a Cobb was situated in the center of the city at the end of Avid's Road. Okay. 6, what are we using? Follow Istis. Oh, okay. So we have more other sources, which I don't have access to, but someone's been working on this. Okay, let me check something. Alright. We're gonna see, because I don't remember if that was there, but goodness knows it's helpful. So if other people have been working on it, then we can kind of coordinate with them. But there should be categories. No, not that one. So a little bit of wiki editing thing. What you can usually do if you have a wiki article, like we do here, what you can do is go. View history. That's the one. Alright, Cityscape, Bibliographer, and your citations, wiki links. May 22nd, which, 21st. Alright, yes. Right. So May 21st was the last time we edited it. What did it? Makes sense, that's... And then the day after, looks like Kit was getting to it. Goes by Abra Sagast on the, Greyhawk, which is, speaking of which, we need to do our summoning. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, 58. Thank you for reminding me. We need to do our summoning. I'm gonna do that, and then, I also have to keep an eye on time because I was very stupid and put something in the oven while we were on stream, which was a terrible idea, you know, but, I'm gonna go find the Greyhawk. Let's see. I'm gonna do that. So, Eversagast is, in lore, the head of the... They just changed the lore. She's the head of the library in the city of Greyhawk. And, our own matron of the library adapted the name because who is our... who's the one who kind of keeps the project together. Our chief editor. Grand people of the looky stuff up people. I think we gave her that title. No. So... we have a whole, of course, she's never obligated to come to the streams, but she tends to. Uh, so, and she did say she was going to work on that, so, probably added the Fate of Istis one, which makes sense to have done so, because that's, when I didn't have source to. Okay, so, alright, so, okay, 14, oh, there should be, let's see, oh, okay, so, this one, pre-war Roxas, which can be adapted. Okay, so the Fate of Istis is pre-war, and I think these numbers, show a reference to that map. So that's interesting. let's go. Well, we can do them. Let's do that. So that's okay. So we cheated that. Okay. We're we're kind of sometimes you're kind of like, okay, what's next? What's happened? Give me half a second though, because give me half a second to do this first. I'm trying to gauge that. I don't want to have to do it more than once, so we're gonna make sure it's done. But also, let's go back to read. Is how we do. Autocracy. Right. Religion. Okay. Um. 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 Temple of Macabre is found in the city, and when was the 8? Let me see. What? We're just checking. Checking references. This is a big part of how to wiki is checking ref. Oh, Fate of Istis. Okay. So um uh um um yes. Um okay. Large Temple of Macabre. Okay. We're gonna do this more. All right. So religion. Um okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna edit. Go here. All right. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be our first edit of the day. Um, give me a moment. I'm going to. Hi! Hi! Oh, you're here! You came! You came! You came! Okay, very exciting stuff. I have a very good friend who's lurking. Very exciting. I have to go take the thingy out of the oven or it'll burn, and I don't want it to burn, and, but I have a picture of Addie, and I'm sure you guys will appreciate that, so hang on. Yeah. Oh. Okay, we ready? Ta-da! I'm back. Yes, I took Addie away. Okay. Um, House is not burned down. Oven is off. Okay. All right. First edit of the day. Are we ready? Um. Here we take this down. All right. So. Um. Um. The. Let's see. The main reason for this. The reason for this. Um. Is that oh, hex store. Uh. Hang on. I think the Church of Hextor counts separate. This is going to be a tricky one because um, Censor Spinoza was absolutely um this is where the lore gets tricky because Censor Spinoza was absolutely a censor of Hexor, who's a god that's um yes. So that's gonna be a little tricksy. Um um yeah, because he was absolutely a censor. Uh Almost certainly. Now we're gonna we're gonna have to dig into the history of that because there is a section on the history of um Balzian, the temple, and when that was built and how that was put together. Because Hexter was the main god before that, and all right, we'll put a pin in that. For this is that um, uh, for them Gaining any kind of what was this? Okay, main reason. Um. Yes. So he had. He had done that himself, but the Church Detector was before, which we'll put in that. Okay. Well, I wonder if there's a texture. Okay. Um. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Hextor definitely is around still. Um. I don't know if I don't know if he taxes that. That's an interesting question. We're gonna have to put a pin in that, but um. Acolytes. Yes. Oh, yes. RILLI. We're gonna have to figure out if there's more on him too. That is the who was dead priest at the time? Rilka Kandrin. Rilka I believe. We're gonna put a pin in him because we might have to. Yep, this is gonna take more than a few weeks, so we're gonna have at least until the end of the year trying to sort this all out. With the way things are going. Yes. The head priest. Um, 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 of Buck. Uh, See, Macabre should be a. Macabre should be a palindrome, and it's not, and it's rather frustrating. Um, which you know, it is what it is. I'm sure it's. I'm trying to check the chat a little bit in case anyone wants to say anything, fun or anything. Um, let's see. Macabre. Oh, here's Macabre. Okay, let's chat there. All right, now I have to check the other one. This is what happens. You get. Oh, I got 2 viewers. All right, 23 minutes. They have a Oh, yeah. The whose chat is what color also switches depending on whether you're viewing it through on the Twitch or through the OBS interface. And wait, that's interesting. So the fuck, just a small little thing. The oh my god. So the when I chat myself, El Hawk, in the chat and the Streamlabs, I asked Streamlabs to help me out and put the Steambot to help me recall pre-programmed stuff from jigs. It 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 shows us in the same two colors, but everyone else gets a different color in uh, the OBS interface versus in the stream manager on Twitch. I just have to be able to see one of them during the stream because that will allow me to keep an eye on the chat. Sometimes I can't if I don't put my things together right, so then that's a little frustrating. But, it is what it is. Okay, so, um, also fun. Oh, yes, editing Roxas. So, we're gonna have to figure out how to word this. Yes. Um, at the time, um, um, when did he start? Okay. At the end of Ivid's reign. Yeah, why don't we say during Ivid's reign? Um, um, except, and, um, magical sources. Magical does not have an O in it. Food and water, fresh water for his acolytes. Um, that, Bacob. Yeah. You really, really think it should be Bocob, because then it would be a palindrome and, like, makes so much more sense, but no. Um, um, wait, is it? Bocob. That's not how you hang on. Hang on. Um, is it Bocob? Is that how you spell it? Right, we're going to spell it this way, and then we're going to check the spelling. This is important. We're going to finish the thought. Okay. Um, um, posing. Um, um, regime. Um, not worth. Mm-hmm. Dating. Okay. So there's that. That was the reasoning. And then we cite this part as, cite source book, different source book, but Ivid. And what page is this on? Page, the Temple of Bacab. Is 29. Okay. Alright, so there's that. Reasoning. Alright, we're gonna go like this. I don't know if Bacab. Okay, we're gonna spell it like this. I feel like I spelled with an A, but we're gonna do this. Yeah, we're doing that. Alright. Publish changes. It is a palindrome. Bacab. Okay, so it is. Yep, it is. Okay. In which case, yes. So now I have to fix the spelling. Okay, let's go with edit. Now we have to fix the spelling. Bacab. No, we didn't. Okay. Never mind, we had the same spelling, so it's cool. Cop. Okay, we spelled it the same way. Okay, never mind. It, um... yes, there's that. Follow Roxas was got a nice little geography. We can put something there. Cityscape population. No religion. Okay, so government. All right. And economy. That's fun. Okay, so city gates. Um, Temple of Ballsy. All right. So we've got So when they had cityscape, which I've been working on. The palace compound was the Knights of Doom. Okay. All right. And David's Road. All right. So it'd be very helpful if we could see this map, but because there's several other. I think they just went through each part of this map, the Fate of Istis map, and just said, okay, um, yeah, um, um, and then gave details about each location that changed within the Okay, Cabra. Okay, all right. I think I might have messed. No, I didn't. Okay. Okay. Oh, Macabre. Okay. All right. Um, I have friends being silly in chat, and I can't even notice because. Ugh. All right. Um, for instance, you're orange in the Twitch interface and blue in the other interface. And may or may not be the only people because Kit's not coming right now. But, you know, she'll be here eventually. Maybe, maybe not, but she tends to come. Let's see, what else? Okay. Hang on. Okay, but now we put that. Right, let's see. Hang on this. If I can get to that, so let me put. I'm just trying to see what I can do to. Oh, I can! See, it is located. I can see the chat. Wow, I'm just not paying attention. Okay, never mind. Alright, so let me see. Made it not worth chasing them out. Yes. So it was simply a blah. Alright, so St. Cuthbert. One of them is that guy who got any other notable individuals. Let me see if there's any more information on Relic Endrin. There's a very handy specialization we can use. R-I-L-L-I. There's only 2 L's. 8. There are 8 references to him. Okay. Mains on Temple was 3 acolytes. Ooh, okay. There was a negotiator's talk with the... Oh, I see, we could keep reading. But they've come away without being allowed entry. Okay, they sent negotiators to... Okay, fine. So let's see. That's those 3. Oh, and they do have a whole section on him. Okay, so because there's a whole section on him, makes sense. So he's our... Why don't we do... His page is our next page. That's good. Okay, so we're gonna put a... We're gonna link it. So, yes. Alright, so if we are going to do it, because we do have a rule that if you have a paragraph like that at the end, we do put a, thingy. But let's, I don't know where we'd put the failed negotiation with the House of Darman, is actually kind of interesting. Because, okay, a little background, which anyone who'd been watching the stream from a long period realized we've pieced out, is, Zavener is the king. He is going to become the Overking. After Roxas's, the fall of, Roxas and this Domo Majiki thing that happens in, was it 586, which, this source book only covers up to 585. However, it does explain about the House of Darman and their power plays before then. And it mentions all that Darman and who's most likely to become the head of the new world order as soon as, if it crumbles, and who's jockeying for position with that. Since we have other source books that, and the Gazetteer, which, cover later, instances of post, 585, we know that Zavener is the one who does become the Overking. And he is of House Darman. But it is interesting that House Darman, here, I'll bring this up so you can see, House Darman did send representatives to talk to the head of the Temple of Bakab, and they turned him away, which is interesting. That should definitely be mentioned in the thing, I think. Okay, I'm just trying to keep a little bit of an eye on the time, just to figure out how we do. Okay, so, okay, come on. Okay. No, okay, past month magic or, detached with guard came to, okay, yes, oh, interesting, okay. The danger by priest effects or other servants of Ivid, that, resistant to magical scrying, teleportation, entrance by... Ooh, that's fun. Okay, and the like. Staying here in these times, but the past months has been magical or lit up a couple atop the temple. When a detachment of town guard came to investigate, they were repelled by a wall of force. This is interesting. A few visitors were said to come to have been admitted by night, perhaps to consult the Book of Hours, which the High Priest is said to possess, a prophetic work said to speak of the decline and fall of House Nalix, and who is destined to be the next ruler of the house. Okay, so he alleged... Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is our next piece in here. Okay, so Macabre, we should mention that. Where, how? That's the question. Okay. We didn't finish reading this before I said, oh, wait, what about this guy? And then we got sidetracked, and okay. Alright, so yeah, he is, okay. So that's, let's take this one. No, I do not want a summary. Summary is not helpful if I'm trying to piece this together section by section. It already has a whole automatic section list, and but it's not the, come on, never mind. Summary is a bad idea because then you don't know all the, yeah, there's gonna be bits that you miss, and they're gonna come out and bite you in the ass because, yeah, summarizing is helpful in some cases, but a bad idea of anything with any actual, ugh, yeah. And I also wouldn't trust AI to make a summary and not miss something extremely important. Small important technicality that seems minor but actually is going to come bite you in the ass. Of course, humans can miss that too, but that's why you always want to read things yourself. But okay. Not considered a danger by fiends, Pizza Store, and other servants of Ivid. Um, da, 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 okay, so that's interesting. What we could do. So Vanguard have been. So it was noted. I don't know what we should put that in this section. Let's start with not chasing out. Let's see. Okay, we should also wholly resistant to magical scrying, teleportation, and entrance by plane shifting. Um, I should put that up. I think. Put it up here. Not to mention that it's okay. Yes. Not worth chasing out. Okay, and its source. So we're going to put this here. And the temple, is, temple is magically, um, um, self-sufficient. Sufficient. To scrying, scrying, I think, is written in, resistance to magical scrying. Oh, it's being silly. Okay, hang on. Magical scrying. Check something. Alright, 7 minutes. Magical scrying. Okay. Just keeping an eye on all of no. Interesting. So, yeah, so if I put obs here, then okay, magical scrying, but then I can't do that. Okay, magical scrying. Magical scrying. Okay, if you please shut up. Hello again. My phone was completely dead this morning, as in 100% shut down, and which kind of caused this cascade of very complicated effects, but, which delayed me getting up, which, okay, so, to magical scrying, sorry. Entrance, no, scrying is its actual word, stop it, and by, okay, that is entrance, is that how you spell that? Entrance. Entrance. Okay, the entrance. I just feel like there should be an, okay. By, teleportation and, Plane shift. Right. Yes, and that is all on the same page, so we can put that there. Yeah. More trouble than it was worth. Fences. But, okay. Cop. Bocop. Defend. No. Okay. Yes. Beautiful. Okay, so list of some defenses. Beautiful. All right. Let me just check something. All right, 4 minutes. Sorry. Eesh. Let's see. Okay. Um, okay. Interesting. Um, okay. Um, um, okay. Interesting. Temple of Photis. All right. Hmm. Okay. Kit's still not here. That's okay. I mean, probably like out and about doing actual important stuff today. Because sometimes he actually has important things to do on Wednesdays, not hang out with me. But that's fine. Doctor's appointments and other nonsense. Oh yes. What was I gonna say though? Um. Okay, Temple of Hextor. Okay. All right. So this one we're gonna put this because it also contains Temple of Hextor. Um. Patriarch. Church records, monies, and the like. Um. Um. Blood Shield. Um. Um. Uh. Coagulated blood golems. That is kind of cool, honestly. Terrible, but cool. Yes. Temple of Hextor. Um. So yeah, there is still the Temple of Hextor because that was the state religion before Ball Z became, he became proclaimed the worship of Ball Z. So they still kept the Temple of Hextor. I don't know what he might have done to the. So that's an interesting question. I think he probably didn't want to tangle with Hextor. And the Temple of Hextor is within the palace grounds. So if the Temple of Hextor is within the palace grounds, and the Patriarch General, who is the one who overthrows him, which tracks. Hang on, wait. I think. Hang on, let me check our own sources on this. It's got the Temple of the Dead, support buildings. Only mundane weapons are kept here. The larger is another stable. It would be helpful if we could see the map. Um, an armory. Okay, Temple of Hextor was within the main palace grounds. So, which was there long before he declared the worship of Balzi and continues and has not been ousted. Okay, so this is yeah, so it has the temple. All right, let's look at this. The Temple of Fext. Okay, so we'll put that in Cityscape, maybe? Hang on. Religion, population. Okay, so this was. All right. Oh, yeah, now it's happening. Okay, so the way, what was I going to say? We're going to have to keep going on this next week as well. But I was gonna say the way that Twitch does ads is it just declares there's gonna be an ad break. 1 minute. I set it to the lowest possible saturation, although that does mean that pre-rolls are still on, do come back on. If you have longer stretches, if you put more ads closer together, it completely turns off pre-roll between the ads, which is helpful if you don't want people to have pre-roll when they're coming into the stream. But this one only lasts like 3/4 through the ad breaks, the time between the ad breaks. But we're gonna have it's declaring another one. I can finish it for 5 minutes, or I can leave you for a minute long break just to grab something, and then I will come back, and then we can keep going. I think that's what we're gonna do. Then they do give you a countdown, so we can kind of time out your breaks along with them, which I've tried to do just because, yeah. So what it's gonna do now is it's going to say starting soon, yes, and then it's gonna, as soon as it doesn't tell you exactly when, it's just gonna any second now. So when it starts, I'm going to put a picture of Addie. I'm going to grab a few things, and then we'll come back, and then we will do this. But that should be good. Let's see anything else before. So I think our next bet on this one is going to be. Let's see. Also within the palace comp, we're going to mention that the temple to Hextor is within the palace compound, and that kind of escaped a little bit of the switch to Ballsy just because of the historical significance and political power of the head of Hextor and the way the church was essentially a government. Yeah, a lot of government. Yeah, so because the church of Hextor was a official governmental church. Okay, we'll finish the rest in a minute. Oh, I'm back. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm back. I took. Okay, I probably should. I have a song stuck in my head. Fun fact. So, all right. In certain sections of the science fiction fans, the fandom of nerds, there are a lot of very religious Jews, and which is anyone who kind of goes to conventions frequently would probably know that they're just that's a thing. Um, yeah, because if you go to conventions regularly, and you almost certainly, especially in the folk community, would almost always, know some, and also know that the Shabbos is kind of important. And since cons always fall on Fridays, it becomes kind of like Friday night becomes a thing. And so Harold wrote this uh, very catchy song about the difficulties of of observing Shabbos during cons, and now it's stuck in my head, and I am blah. Yeah. Um, Being a filker means having songs stuck in your head that do not exist outside of yeah, that you can't look up the lyrics to, you can't find um recordings of, simply because uh that's how the music works. That's the downside of folk music, is that sometimes they're just oral tradition, and you have to and finding lyrics means asking somebody to manually copy out of their songbook, which I did for the really good for various songs, or chasing people down to ask them to send you copies, and which is why it took me 15 years to get the lyrics for Hey Commander. It's a good song, but my point on that is, yeah, I have one of those songs stuck in my head, and then I have another. Well, it replaced the other one, which actually has lyrics somewhere on the interwebs put up, and I just have to find it, which is. Anyway, you can't just search them. Like, Sign Out the Vacuum State, Jordan Kerr, actually, there is footage of him singing it. But there's no lyrics for it, so Shoshana had a set that she manually transcribed from the video. I'm gonna have to do the same, honestly, but we sung it at the circle too. But yeah, anyway, the Harold song is the one I have stuck in my head right now. Okay, sorry, that is completely irrelevant to this, but is. Da da da. Don't want him to be wrong, but if you're going anywhere, it's the sin to go along. Da 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 da. It's very catchy. And bleh. Anyway. Um. Okay. Okay. So what we were going to do is we were going to Brewfest. Oh yes, of '93, and Finadrel of Delaric, but he was known for slander and lies and such. So, being a bard, how solid is his testimony? But that is, oh yeah, that's if I this whole sorry, I'm supposed to be showing you that Fall of Roxas. But yeah, bleh. Um, okay. What was I saying? Um. Anyway, my point, yes, was that we were going to do a thing. I guess my point on this particular case was just gotta keep an eye on the time, because I'm going to have to. I think maybe it's gonna be tricky in terms of timing this and actually getting to the store, which I was supposed to do, but then I got stopped because I overslept because the phone was dead because I was an idiot. Yeah, that's essentially the whole point. Um, what was I gonna do? Oh, yes, I was going to continuing Cityscape. Yes. Um. Yeah. Uh. Um. Because yes. Inside the temple. Inside the temple. We're gonna put that in next to. Inside the walls was Temple to Balzi. Inside the wall was the temple to Hexter. And which survived. And then we'll mention in the religion section that, which had the 4 golems of congealed blood. Yep. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put that inside the temple. As the temple to Hexter is inside the grounds. A temple inside the ground is dedicated to Hexter, simply because of its tradition, and then we'll put that in the religious section. Hexter kind of got some exemption simply because of the historical nature and the power within that. Although, although, yeah, because Temple to Hexter was inside the palace grounds. Um, That is an interesting question. Actually, that would be like an interesting interplay to examine in a game or writing. Like that's anyway. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. Sorry, I just. Sorry, I'm. Harold is awesome. Harold Feld, who's the. If you ever go to a convention with him and get a chance to hear him sing, he gave a concert at Balticon, and I had a panel during his concert because no, that wasn't the panel. That was when I was doing the. I wanted to block off enough time to at least go to one actual TTRPG game, like get as a player in at least one game, and that was right during his concert, which I missed, which I feel bad about. But he is a incredibly talented. If you ever get a chance to go to the same convention as him and get a chance to hear him perform, it's beautiful. What was I gonna say? Harold, yes. Um, Harold Feld. I don't know if he has stuff on Bandcamp, but I feel like we are getting distracted. I know we're getting distracted, but I just came back from Balticon, and um, it was such fun. They had so much TTRPG nonsense, and also all the other um. Nope, not even close. Okay, he does not have a Bandcamp, unfortunately, which makes sense. I mean, but anyway, yes, I got to go to Balticon, which is a mixed tabletop RPG, a science fiction fantasy mixed convention with a strong TTRPG element to it, which I got to have a little bit. There were plenty of games. I just because I was on panels, I couldn't go to a lot of them. And then there were other ones that went late, and I was trying to scheduling is annoying, but I blocked out one block. Now, okay, anyway, song stuck in your head. I suppose I could try to stick Never Split the Party in my head instead, and then it would be different. But oh yes, Temple of Hexter. I'm gonna yes, sacred hextors such as anniversaries of exceptionally bloody battles and the usual ghastly rituals of Hexter's faith are enacted during them. Okay, so that's an interesting question because he did make not worshiping Balzi illegal, but also there's an interplay there, and I feel like that, um, we're gonna do that, yes, we're gonna put this, okay, so this is an interplay of, and there's a little bit bleh. Oh, okay, hang on, here's what we're gonna do, we're gonna go, and I'm gonna put on the, here, in the cityscape section, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put, um, 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 yes, the palace compound. Oh, interesting. Inside the walls of the palace compound. So, okay. Here's okay. Now we got to figure this out. Ballsy. Okay, no, let's hang on. We're gonna cancel because okay. So inside the so the city says it was inside the walls of the palace compound. Let me go. Let me check. All right, now we're gonna have to. Now we're having source book overlap. I'm gonna figure this out. So let me put this down so we can actually read the thing here. Let me. Okay. This one. Okay. Um. All right. New building within the palace grounds. Staffed by fiend knights and a sprinkling of assorted minions dressed in lurid purple and cream robes. Commemorated with much gold, silver, and fine woods. The great standard glass windows show the fat form of a grinning, richly dressed man seated before a huge meal. Ballsy himself. Okay. Interesting. So, the fiend. Ba Balzaphon is actually considered to be, what's her name? Let me see. Um, um, yes. Though her home plane, she manifests as a fiendish-looking human woman. So she's in her true form female, but in this Temple of Balzi is her masculine form. Now, gods flip-flop with gender all the time, so technicality, really, but it's interesting, and she's a fiend, so, but it's interesting. Interesting is I think that's interesting that she's depicted in a male form on the temple glass, but is almost certainly female in her initial form of the pit fiend form, and occasionally appears in the yeah, as a fiendish-looking human woman. That is interesting. I don't know what that means, but it is interesting, I would say. That she appears in her pet fiend form and in her human form, alias form, but in the form of Ballsy, he goes as has a masculine appearance, at least in the temple art. That is interesting. Of course, there is it's a thinly veiled. No, this actually isn't Bellerophon, but Bellerophon, is that her? But that is interesting. Uh, Balzaphon, yeah, Balzaphon, yeah, Balzaphon. In her Balzaphon form, she is female. In his Balzy form, he is presented as a man. Even though in her alias form, she appears as a woman occasionally, sometimes, but he is still depicted as a man in his temple in the Dark City, which in the city of, I mean, Corellian flip flops too. So that is gender fluid deity. Well, fiend, not a deity. Fiend, but still, that is interesting. I think personally, but that's just me. Yes, you might want to put that on her page so that he occasionally manifests or occasionally is worshipped in a male form, whether or not that's actually his form. Okay. Okay. Palsy. Okay, so they built the temple inside the palace grounds. The Temple of Hexter was already on the palace grounds and still continues to function despite the Temple of Balsy because that is because they're not going to shut down. Even Ivid is not going to mess with the Priest of Hexter, which is interesting. Yeah, that is a fascinating interplay, and that is interesting. That is cool. Cool lore. I mean, really cool lore. Sorry, I keep babbling about it, but like, it's cool. Okay, so the City Gates, we've got Temple of Balsy, and then with Hextor. Elite warriors, human members of the Companion Guard, some of Avid's advisors. Okay, yes, because probably because some of his best advisors are there. Unholy Blood Sheed. Okay, services sealed on days sacred Hextor. Okay. So, withdrew their presence. Temple has not been looted, but most of its wealth has been quietly shipped out of Roxas. Interesting. Interesting. And two of them are minor princes of House Darman. Okay. Okay, Zilchist, that's kind of interesting. So the Zilchist priest just kind of shut down the temple when they made Balsy the priest. The Temple of Hexter couldn't get. Okay, so this is fascinating to me. I know it's not fascinating to you. May or may not be fascinating to you guys, but this is interesting. So they built the Temple of Balsy, declared that he was his god of prosperity, not certainly not an alias of the demon Balzaphon, who is a pit fiend of great note. But yeah, built the temple. Did not shut down the Temple of Hextor simply because all of the companion guard were Hextor worshippers, and they didn't want to, who are exceptionally loyal, and if it didn't want to mess with them too much. But and the Patriarch General had been in charge of the Great King for centuries, had been the puppet of the Overkings for centuries, or not puppets necessarily, but had been staunch allies and intertwined with the Overkings for centuries, and so if it wasn't going to shut down that right away. But he put up the Temple of Balsy and declared that to be the main faith, and then just didn't shut down the Temple of Hexter. And all the other temples simply kind of Well, no one wanted to shut down the Temple of Bakab because powerful wizard who was completely self-sufficient. No one really wanted to do with that, so there were, and he wasn't a good aligned god, so everyone's just got, okay. Temple of Fultus killed everyone inside. Temple of Zilchus, they exiled. There was one other temple to one of, not Zilchus, but another one of the Wind siblings. Zilchus is one, the divine representation of one, like north, south, east, west. They have 4 winds, and I'm pretty sure Zilchus is one of them. And there was another one who had worshippers in the city too, but I need a source on that, because that, if I recall correctly, let me see. Maybe that was in a different city. No, that was in the, not city. That was in Pontlever. They had worshippers in Pontlever. Zilchus was the one who had worshippers in Roxas, and they shut down the temple, and stopped holding services and just shut it down completely. And there's a couple acolytes left to kind of maintain stuff, but some of them are royal princelings and are bribing the guards. They're just left to do their own thing as long as they don't actually do any active services or anything. That's Zilchus. Okay. Because this could be a whole... Okay, Tower of the Dead, that's Temple, Hexter, Support, Barracks, Black Legion, Temper Fultus, Carlock. Okay, Court Wizard. Interesting. So Carlock has, I don't know if that's inside the pirate, yes, retinue of goblin servants. Is known to have many oozes, puddings, and the like, which tower acting as guards and disposes of waste, such as intruders, though there have been very few of those, and bodies in general. Clutchings are staff, virtually control of it in the service of Balzaphon. But few know that of the Batazu whose servant Carlock is. Okay, so, okay. Tapas Tower is often heard screaming and ranting at traitors about treason, which exists mostly as imagination. Name Zane is heard over and over. Ooh, clear Archmage. Okay, possible vengeful return of his precedenter. Probably similar to Zavaner, but probably just a similar name, because that's how names and cultures work, is people have similar names with similar phonemes and such. Political role is further detailed below, but anyone who attempt to enter his tower might take heed of the obstacles it would face additional as guard. Same magic defenses as the Royal Palace, see below, and the Archmage himself, not to mention the magic items he carries. Known to have a pair of iron golems guarding his own bench shaper in the laboratory. Ghouls, vampiric mist. Dozen or so trained Sturges. Are immune to hold, charm, and fear spells. Oh, they're immune to charm person and hold... Oh, wow. Okay. That's pretty epic. Poisonous Bite. It's a d12 damage, in addition to the normal damage, an extra d12 of damage. Just their attacks do an extra d12 of damage. Neutral aligned. Okay. He has a Fiend Apprentice, who's neutral aligned. Renegade from the Abyss, who's kind of more neutral. 9th level mage with an intelligence of 18. Okay, who is 9th level wizard with intelligence of 18. Known to be an expert in the preparation of poisonous gases, armor, corroding acids, and dust of sneezing and choking. Okay, that is fun. We're gonna do Carlock. Does Carlock have a page? Okay. Alright, we have a lot. So we're gonna have to, let me see if Carlock has a page. Sorry, we are getting so sidetracked, but like, freaking Roxas is hotbed of... Okay, let me check if Carlock has a page. And let me just make sure we spell his name right. Carluke, not Carlock. No C. Carluke. Ooh, oh no, it is a C. Searching. Yes. Oh, Willicandrin has a page. Interesting enough. Carluke does not, but he is linked on Willicandrin's page. They are definitely not on the same... They are rivals of intense fear and hate. Okay. So no lost love. Will live 333 years. Okay. Is devoted to Balls of Fun. Um, the secret master of yes. So Balls of Fun's. He's the one. Who's pushing her? Who's getting Avid to push her agenda. 333 years, and we wished back to life about up to 9 times. So 9 times 333. However, you want to math that out a lot. Um. Oh, creator of the Fiend Knights. So the Court Wizard was the creator of the Fiend Knights before he was replaced by Karulk. Rise to power, contracting. Ooh. Okay, there is some interesting. Okay, we are. Oh, no. Come on. Greyhawk Wiki. Sorry, I accidentally closed the Greyhawk Wiki. Roxas. Alright, sorry, I accidentally closed the Greyhawk Wiki. Okay, yes, so we have, some interesting things. So, we have the Karluk's Tower. It's a little off. Hang on, let me scooch a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so Karluk's Tower. Karulk's Tower is 11 on this, if you can see that. I don't know if it's in the palace grounds or not. Karluk's Tower is right near. If it's unclear whether his tower is on the palace grounds or not. I know the Temple of Hextor is. They built the Temple of Ballsy next to it, also on the palace grounds. Probably on Karulk's say so, because Karulk is a devoted servant of Ballsy and also Balzaphon, rather. So they built right when they built the Temple of the thinly veiled XP, masculine form of Balzaphon. That is interesting. Okay, so okay, we've got layers here. Oh, wait, hang on. We can do one small edit here. Let's see. Post Greyhawk Wars, history, religion. Let me do one quick edit. Let's put this. Since he has a page to link to, we're gonna put a link in here. Tweaking link. Adding link. And that is a minor edit, so we're gonna just, yep. Okay, so hang on a second. Let me check something, because now we have to fix the link. Hang on. I guess this is gonna be our, alright, we are going to do Great Kingdom. Someone here, let's just go with Ballsy. Okay. Balls of Fun. Okay, then, Karulk. We did Karulk. CK. Okay, so the page is Rilicandrin. Rilicandrin, and then in Roxas, why is his name link here? No, I need to zoom in. I need to be able to see this better. Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Okay, with an R. Hang on. This is why you check your spellings. This is why it's so important to check your dang spellings. Oh, that's Karluk's, Bacab. Okay. Rilicandren. Yes, he does have the R in there. Okay. This is why you check spellings. Just ask anyone who's here for Gross and Grottle and our epic, quest to put this together, and then going and changing the spelling 6 times throughout the different parts of the wiki before realizing, oh wait, maybe the spelling we keep changing is the actual one and the one we're using is wrong. Change them all back, search that, and oh yeah, there is a page already. We didn't even need that. I agree. I got, even though it was unusual, I did get Kit to agree to put a redirect on, the initial spelling when using it was some map had it misspelled. Anna's map actually had it misspelled, which I don't have that against her. She's got a gajillion things, and she's the most amazing map maker. But she did misspell Grasstrel, and that did lead us down a Mary Chase, which is why. Anyway, checking spelling is my point, because now we have the. Oh, here, I'll show you the link. Hang on. This one we need to check the. Okay, we need to fix the link. Blah, blah, blah. Let me see this. Okay, let me go edit source. Alright, and that's just that. Okay, and the Temple of Zilchus. We'll talk about the Temple of Zilchus, although defunct, and then we'll take it, put it in the religious section exactly why it's defunct. I think that Dren. Okay. Fixing link spelling. Yep, minor edit. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, and that links. Lovely. Okay, so for next week, we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to do this. Okay, we're gonna have to go here. So next week, we're gonna do, Karluk. Karulk. We're gonna do Karulk. That is gonna be next week, is gonna be Karulk. And more Roxas, his tower. We're gonna talk about the other temples and their shutdown, and the interplay between Ballsy and Hextor. Alright, that is next week. We didn't do much this week, but we kind of set ourselves, we had a few, yeah, we talked about the Temple of Macabre, so we didn't get a lot done, but we did a little bit, and we, set ourselves up for next week, if I remember to add this, so that we don't forget. So let me go to Greyhawk, and, because we got, wasted a lot of time with me setting up things behind the scenes also, but we did a little bit, so that's a good start. Next week. Karuk, Zilchus. Zilchus and more in Roxas. Yep, that is our next week, and then I will pin it. Pin message, yes. Pin. Pin messages. Cancel. Oh yeah. Alright, we're gonna, I'm gonna take some of these off the pinned message thing. Yes. I'm leaving the pinned message that channels related for Greyhawk stuff if you want to share. And notes on what's next episode of After Greyhawk is supposed to cover. You can actually make absolutely missed requests as well. Yep. Okay, so, wiki section need proof for the walker. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna take some of these out. Mentry, Rumors and Legends, Dorlian and Pontlever. Okay, we did those. Sea Barons. Okay. Jamzine. Okay, we did that ages ago. Okay, so, I'm gonna take Yendrin. Okay, yeah, we definitely got Yendrin done. Pamdarn. Okay, that was the last time. Okay, yeah. So, alright, the pin messages is just the next one. Carly, so it's just the Modern Rocks. Okay, so, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Next week we will do, those of you who did, you know how awesome you all are. You guys are wonderful. Take care of yourselves. I mean it, okay? Tomorrow, I'm probably gonna do, I'm typing up a list of streamers to follow. If I don't get that done before, if I manage to get that done before the stream tomorrow, we will do other TTRPG related stuff. We have, what else? So there's that. Yeah, so we have, if we manage to get that done, we'll have other TTRPG related stuff. If not, typing up lists of streamers, which are fun, because there's also, we're also going to find, some of them are not TTRPG streamers, but, they're fun ones. And it's great to shout out fellow streamers and, stuffs. Speedrunning streams, and some of them are streaming, some of them are origami streamers, because we had one who was just a panel member who was really, really into origami streaming, and also kept time for us, and was, and also brought up a lot of other fun things that are really cool that we found some good streamers for. So, absolutely. If you were at Balticon, we weren't actually we didn't actually record this panel because of technical difficulties. You're supposed to, which is a shame, but I will have the list for Balticon and put it in that. If any were there, hi, welcome. What else? We have one person here now. So, okay, so we are going to raid, and I want you to come along on the raid. We're going to raid I think if she's still on, um, who is it? So there's Immersion Diversion, who's doing the Pokemon in space thing, and Marcy Starborn Striker, one of the GOT writers. Okay. Um. Oh yeah, Marcy Lacelle is still on, and she needs her back's having issues, and she needs a new chair. So we're gonna go rate her because she is. It's very few, but you know, it's every little bit. Come see her. Come hang out with her. We're gonna go and we're gonna read her. With her. She's doing Stardew Valley. It's fun. She's like a ray of sunshine. I promise you. Not exactly a very different stream than I do, but she's such a ray of sunshine, such a sweetheart. Just come say hi, please. We're gonna read her. Um. Yeah, we're gonna go raid her. She is a ray of sunshine and super cool. So we're gonna raid her. Um. Yes, come raid this ray of sunshine with me and watch her, silly cozy stuff. She's so sweet. Come raid at least and say hi, and I will see you all next week. Or tomorrow. I will see you all tomorrow.